Okay, last question. Just walk us through, if you will, an average week at DCRP headquarters, if you're the chair. Just kind of let us know, how do you see yourself spending your time in that last, during a typical week?
I think if you have been involved in the county party, you know there's really not a typical week. The ideal week would be a morning spent calling, raising money. You're going to spend X number of hours each day calling donors, trying to raise money. You're going to spend time preparing for meetings that you're going to have probably that evening with your volunteers at party headquarters. You're going to spend time at those meetings. You're going to spend time going to club meetings. You're going to spend time cultivating relationships with the media because you're going to spend time answering questions from the media. This job is a dynamic job. It is not a 9-to-5 punch the clock job. If that's what you're expecting, you'll be sorely mistaken. This is the type of job that requires a dynamic leader who can do many things during the day. That's the type of leader I have been. That's what I was doing when I was running for county judge. I handled all aspects of a large campaign. And I can tell you there's no typical day. You have to be able to be dynamic and be able to roll with the punches, whatever they may be, and believe that they'll surprise you.
Thank you.
I certainly agree it's a dynamic job. I think part of what's happened over the last few years is when people go up to the county party headquarters or they call, nobody's there. My notion is you need to be at the office or have someone at the office so it's an active presence all the time. But really, as a county party chair, I'm going to think about this county party kind of like a startup company. Because that's what we are in Dallas County. We do not have market share. We need to think of our job, this job as county party chair, as leading a small startup, and everything you do is focus on the prize of raising the presence and power of the Republican Party, registering new voters, bringing them into the fold, making connections with all the communities of conservatives all over Dallas County. You've got to be an actively engaged person, so there's certainly not going to be a sit at the office all day. It's kind of like when I practiced law years ago. It's really a full-time job. It's evenings and weekends. You just kind of work all the time, and I love that. When my husband started his new startup here in Texas, he made the comment, actually it was his previous startup, he made the comment, when he wakes up in the morning, he can't wait to go to work. He just loved doing that. That's how I feel about politics. That's how I feel about running the county party. There's so much that can be done when there's a full-time effort, including connecting with all those communities where ultimately we'll bring those voters into our party.
Thank you, Debbie. You mixed them up real good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the first question is, how many hours per week will you work on non-chair related activities?
I will tell you that I do not work outside our home. I am involved in one club, the Park States Republican Women, and that my job is kind of done for that for the year. So I will not have outside commitments to this, other than this party chair job. And I'm deliberately and consciously choosing that because those of you who know me know that I'm usually involved in campaigns and projects and clubs. I have a bundle of energy, but I think this job requires so much that I am stepping back from the other activities. So the answer is I will not have outside responsibilities, other than, of course, my family. But outside responsibilities, I'm at a phase in life when our kids are out of the house, a lot of time and a lot of passion, and I want to bring back Republican government to Dallas County, and I will do it full time.
I will spend some hours each day working at my paying job, but I will be available 24/7 as your county chair. I believe that it takes more to run this party than just time on your hands. And I have been effective in everything I've done for this party. When I ran for county judge, I was effective. I spent day and night thinking about how I could win my campaign and what more I could do. I don't think anybody in this room says I didn't spend the required time as county judge, as the county judge candidate. When I was representing Linda Harper Brown, I spent day and night working for her. When I was ballot integrity director, I spent many nights at the elections department training poll watchers. Many of you took the class, you know. I am committed. It's not just how much time, it's not just a number of hours, it's what you do with those hours. And every step of the way, I've proven time and time again that I am the guy that can get the job done.
Thank you. All right, Wade, tell us how you would keep the Dallas County GOP precinct chairs fully engaged, both between and during elections.
Well, we have to reach out to them. We have to communicate with them. That's part of the process. That's part of the solution. In the past, I'm not sure the county party has really stayed engaged with the precinct chairs. I think we need to have regular meetings. I expect to have regular meetings at party headquarters, or I'll even go to their area, to their city, and have meetings with them. I feel like we have to keep them engaged by meeting with them, keep them engaged by having them be part of the process, part of the development of the strategy, and part of the implementation of the strategy. I also expect to use technology. For those who can't come to a place to meet, they can watch online, much like Jared's doing with Ustream. There are so many things we can do to keep precinct chairs engaged, and frankly, I think the party has really dropped the ball in keeping them engaged. As your county chair, my pledge to you is to keep our precinct chairs informed about what's going on in the process, what's going on in the party, and so they will stay engaged.
Thank you.
When you think about what it is to be a precinct chair, and obviously we have several rows of precinct chairs, you're kind of like the army on the ground. You are the ones who find in your precincts the Republicans who are active, the Republicans who are people who are conservative and not yet involved. Your job is to get all those folks inspired, and the county party's job is to keep the precinct chairs inspired. I want to have monthly meetings of the precinct chairs, and I want to have speakers, not just a business section, but speakers so we feel inspired, we have something to talk about, and we share ideas with each other, and what we tried in our precinct, and how this worked, but this didn't work so well. And also, there's no reason in our precinct chair meetings not to include activist Republicans. I do hear people saying, I would have loved to come, but I didn't know if I was invited. The people who care, who are just engaged with the party, with conservative principles, should be included in our precinct chair meetings. And I would like to have monthly ones with speakers, and then also, and actually keep that schedule going way off season, because part of what we can be doing right now is identifying voters in our precincts who only vote in the general, and we don't know they're Republicans. Once we get them into our database, we make them our friends, we turn them out as primary voters, and that's how they end up being supporters of the party and reliable voters.
Thank you. Next question.